Captain Jack stood on the bridge of the horizon, watching the stars drift by on the main screen. Their mission to map the outer edges of the Orion Arm had been peaceful so far. Just the way he liked it. "Captain, I'm picking up strange energy readings," said Anna from her communication station. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel. "Nothing I've ever seen before." Jack turned to his science officer. "Tom, analysis?" Tom frowned at his screen. "Unknown, sir. It's not matching any known signature in our database. But it's getting stronger." Before Jack could respond, the ship shuddered violently. Red warning lights flashed across every console as systems began shutting down one by one. "We're being attacked." Security Officer Liz shouted, drawing her weapon even though there was no visible enemy to fight. The main lights flickered and died, leaving only the dim emergency lighting. The gentle hum of the engines fell silent. On every screen, system after system reported failure. "Status report," Jack demanded, gripping his chair as the artificial gravity wavered. Chief Engineer Mike's voice came through on the emergency channel, tight with stress. "Captain, whatever hit us wasn't designed to destroy the ship. It's like a massive EMP, but more targeted. All main systems are offline. Life support is running on emergency power, but that won't last more than 24 hours. Through the viewports, they saw them for the first time. 3 massive ships, shaped like arrowheads, their hulls a dull gray that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Smaller vessels deployed from the larger ships, heading toward the nearby human colony transports that had been traveling under the horizon's protection. "They're boarding the colony ships," Tom said, his voice hollow. "We can't warn anyone. Communications are dead." The bridge crew watched in helpless silence as the aliens methodically attacked each colony vessel, not destroying them but disabling them just as they had the horizon. Then teams of tall, thin beings in strange suits moved from ship to ship, taking people and supplies. Hours passed. The aliens never approached the horizon, as if they considered the exploration vessel too insignificant to bother with. Finally, the 3 massive ships gathered their smaller vessels and disappeared in flashes of light that hurt human eyes to look at. "They left us alive," Liz said, breaking the silence. "Why?" "Because they think we're already dead," Jack replied, his voice hard. "Or they expect us to call for help and lead them to more targets." The emergency lighting flickered, a reminder that their time was running out. Jack called a meeting of his senior officers in what had been the brightly lit conference room but was now a shadowy chamber lit by portable emergency lights. "Options?" Jack asked, looking at each tired face around the table. Mike spoke first. "We can't restart the main engines. Whatever they hit us with, it fried the control systems completely. We'd need a full refit at a shipyard." "Which we can't reach," Anna added. "Even our emergency beacon is compromised. We can't call for help." Tom cleared his throat. "Sir, I've been analyzing the energy weapon they used against us. There's something strange about it." He activated a small holographic projector showing energy patterns. "It didn't just shut down our systems, it changed them. There are new energy patterns forming in the ship's power grid that weren't there before." "Is it dangerous?" Jack asked. "I don't know," Tom admitted. "But it might be useful. If we could harness these new energy patterns, we might be able to power critical systems differently." Liz shook her head. "You want to use alien technology we don't understand? The same tech that disabled us? What choice do we have?" Mike asked, already thinking through the engineering challenges. "We're dead in 20 hours when life support fails. Might as well try something crazy." Jack looked around the table, seeing the mix of fear and determination on his officers' faces. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They had hurt humans, taken humans, but left other humans alive with nothing to lose. "Do it," Jack ordered. "If these gray bastards think disabling our ship means defeating us, they're about to learn a hard lesson about humanity." The next hours were a race against time. Oxygen levels dropped as life support strained under emergency power. Crew members worked in darkness, following Mike's desperate plan to rewire critical systems to capture and redirect the alien energy still lingering in their disabled engines. As people began to show signs of oxygen deprivation, Mike made the final connections in the makeshift system. For a terrible moment, nothing happened. Then strange lights flickered through the ship's corridors. Consoles that had been dark lit up with unfamiliar patterns. The ship shuddered, almost like it was coming back to life. But it wasn't the same ship anymore. Something new was being born in the darkness of space, something that was part human ingenuity, part alien technology, and completely unexpected. The lights in the horizon grew stronger. Not the steady white of human technology, but a pulsing blue-green that cast strange shadows across the walls. Captain Jack took his first full breath in hours as the air circulation system sputtered back to life. "Mike, status report," Jack called over the newly functioning communication system. "It's incredible, Captain," Mike's voice came back, filled with wonder. "The alien energy isn't just powering our systems, it's changing them. Our engines are producing twice the power they should be capable of. And the hull, you need to see this." Jack made his way to engineering, passing crew members who stared in amazement at the transformed ship around them. What had once been ordinary metal walls now seemed to ripple slightly, as if alive. In engineering, Mike stood before a display showing the ship's schematics. But the displayed ship barely resembled the horizon they knew. "The hull is absorbing energy and redistributing it," Mike explained, pointing to flowing patterns on the screen. "It's stronger than any armor we've ever developed. And our defensive lasers have somehow reconfigured into weapons similar to what hit us. We could disable other ships the same way they disabled us." "And the main computer?" Jack asked, noticing how the screens responded to his presence before he touched them. "That's the strangest part," Mike said quietly. "It's showing signs of awareness. It's predicting commands before we give them. Learning at an incredible rate." Before Jack could respond, Anna's voice came through the comm system. "Captain, I'm picking up distress signals from the colony ships. They're still alive out there." The bridge was transformed when Jack returned. Screens displayed information in new formats, more intuitive and detailed than before. Liz stood at the weapons console, her face illuminated by the strange light. "The weapons are responsive, sir, but they're not the same as before," she reported. "I'm not sure we can trust them." Tom looked up from his science station. "This transformation isn't complete, Captain. The ship is still changing, adapting. We're flying something that's half human technology, half something else." Jack faced a choice: return to human space to report their findings, or use these new capabilities to rescue the colonists taken by the gray aliens. "How many colonists on those ships, Anna?" he asked. "At least 2,000, sir. The aliens took most, but some are still aboard, hiding or trapped." Jack's decision was made. "Plot a course to follow the alien fleet. We're going after our people." "Sir," Liz protested, "we don't know if this ship is stable. The alien technology could fail, or it could be controlling us somehow." "It's not controlling us," Jack said firmly. "We're controlling it. That's the difference between us and them. They left us for dead, but they didn't understand what humans can do when we're desperate." As the Horizon powered up its new engines, the ship seemed to respond to their collective will. Screens adjusted to each crew member's preferences without being told. The hull hardened in areas facing potential threats. In the darkness of space, the once disabled exploration vessel moved with new purpose, leaving a trail of blue-green energy as it accelerated toward the alien fleet. The ship that the gray aliens had thought defeated was becoming something they could never have anticipated, a perfect fusion of human determination and alien technology. On the bridge, Captain Jack watched the stars streak by faster than should have been possible. "They think they're hunters," he said quietly. "Time to show them what it feels like to be prey." "They've stopped moving," Tom announced as the horizon approached the alien fleet's position. On the main screen, the massive gray mothership hung in space like a steel mountain, surrounded by smaller vessels. The stolen colony ships were docked along its lower sections. Captain Jack gathered his officers to review their plan. "We'll use our new stealth capabilities to get close. One targeted strike to disable their defenses, then Liz leads the boarding team to rescue our people." "I've been studying their technology," Tom said. "Their ships operate on a strict hierarchy. Disable the mothership, and the smaller vessels will be thrown into confusion." Liz held up one of their modified weapons. "These should disrupt their neural networks, stun them without killing." The horizon slipped between the stars, its hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. The alien detection systems, designed to find human technology, failed to notice the hybrid vessel approaching. "Weapons range in 30 seconds, Liz reported. "Show me the colony ships," Jack ordered. The screen shifted, zooming in on the captured vessels. What they saw shocked everyone on the bridge. The Greys weren't just holding prisoners, they were conducting experiments. Humans in transparent chambers were subjected to various tests. Some were connected to strange machines that extracted samples. Others were exposed to different environments while their reactions were monitored. "This isn't random," Tom said, his voice tight with anger. "They're studying us systematically. Learning how we adapt." Jack's face hardened. "Change of plans. We're still rescuing our people, but now we need to gather intelligence on what they're doing." "Ready to fire," Liz announced. "Hit them hard," Jack ordered. The horizon unleashed its first attack. Beams of energy, not the lasers they once were, but concentrated pulses of the same field that had disabled their own ship, struck the mothership's power systems. Lights across the massive vessel flickered and died. "Their main grid is down," Tom confirmed. "Launch the boarding team." Liz and her security team launched toward the colony ships in shuttles modified with the same alien technology. Captain Jack kept the Grey Fleet occupied, the horizon dancing between enemy vessels with impossible maneuvers, striking and vanishing before they could respond. But halfway through the operation, the aliens deployed a new weapon, a counterfield that began to reverse the horizon's enhancements. Systems flickered across the ship. "They're counteracting the alien energy somehow," Mike reported from engineering, his voice strained. "We're losing our advantages." On the colony ships, Liz and her team faced heavy resistance. "Captain, many colonists are too injured to move," she reported. "And some are, changed. Behaving strangely." With their enhanced capabilities fading, Jack made the hard call. "Get everyone you can and pull back. We need to regroup." As the horizon prepared to retreat with the rescued colonists, their weapons interacted with Grey technology in an unexpected way. Cascading energy surged through the alien mothership, causing catastrophic failures throughout its systems. "They're breaking apart from within," Tom reported in astonishment. The horizon pulled away with the freed colonists, leaving the Grey mothership crumbling behind them. But their victory came at a heavy price. Half the colonists remained in alien hands, and their miraculous ship was failing. As they fled to safety, Jack addressed his exhausted crew. "They know what we can do now," he said grimly. "And we've only made them angry. The real war starts today." The horizon drifted through a remote asteroid field, its once brilliant energy signature now dimmed. Inside, the crew worked frantically to stabilize their hybrid systems while caring for the rescued colonists. Captain Jack found Chief Engineer Mike in the engine room, hands deep in a panel glowing with alien energy. "How bad is it?" Strange, not bad, Mike replied, not looking up. The technology isn't failing, it's changing again. Integrating more deeply with our systems, and with us. With us? Jack asked. Mike finally turned, revealing eyes that glowed faintly with the same blue-green energy that powered the ship. The crew members working closest with the new systems are developing abilities. Technicians can sense malfunctions before they happen. Weapons officers target with impossible precision. Jack had noticed it himself, a growing sense that the ship was an extension of his body. Is it dangerous? Everything powerful is dangerous, Mike said. But right now, it might be our only advantage. In the medical bay, Tom worked with the freed colonists, many still recovering from alien experiments. They weren't trying to harm us, said Ben, a young colonist whose wounds healed before their eyes. They were studying how quickly humans adapt to new situations. They seemed afraid of our potential. Meanwhile, communications specialist Anna made a breakthrough in decoding gray transmissions. "Captain, they're calling for reinforcements," she reported. "They're describing our ship as an evolutionary anomaly that needs to be contained or destroyed." Jack gathered his officers and the healthier colonists. "We have limited time before a larger alien force arrives. We can't return to human space and risk leading them there, but we can't face an armada alone." "Perhaps we don't have to face them as we are now," Ben suggested. All eyes turned to the young colonist. "If their technology changed your ship and crew once by accident, could you control that change intentionally? Accelerate it?" The room fell silent as they considered the implications. Deliberately exposing themselves to more alien energy could kill them, or transform them into something no longer human. "It's a dangerous gamble," Jack acknowledged. "But facing annihilation, I approve the plan." Mike designed a controlled exposure chamber where they could direct alien energy into specific ship systems. The process began with their defenses, then weapons, and finally the core systems. As the horizon evolved, so did its crew. Their connection to the ship deepened, creating a symbiotic relationship where human intuition guided alien technology, making both far more powerful. By the time the gray reinforcements approached, the horizon had become almost unrecognizable. Its hull shifted and adapted like living metal. Its engines created short jumps through spacetime. Its weapons could target enemy weaknesses with surgical precision. Captain Jack stood on the bridge, looking down at hands that now glowed with the same energy that powered their ship. The crew around him had changed too, altered by the technology they had embraced to survive. "We're not just fighting for the colonists anymore," he told them, his voice resonating with new harmonics. "We're fighting for what remains of our humanity." Behind them, sensors detected the approaching gray fleet, 3 times larger than the one they had faced before. This time, however, the horizon was ready. The gray reinforcements emerged from hyperspace, a fleet that dwarfed their previous force. Massive warships formed a blockade, their weapons primed and targeting systems searching for the horizon. But the horizon was no longer what they were looking for. "They're scanning for a damaged exploration vessel," Tom said, monitoring the alien communications. "They have no idea what we've become." Captain Jack nodded. "Let's show them." The horizon shifted from its hiding place among the asteroids, its form fluid and changing. What had once been a single ship now split into 3 semi-autonomous sections that moved in perfect coordination. Its weapon systems, now evolved beyond recognition, targeted specific components of enemy vessels rather than attempting to destroy them outright. The Grey Fleet, expecting to find easy prey, instead faced a nightmare, a human vessel that anticipated their every move and countered their every strategy. "Their formations are breaking," Liz reported from her weapons station, her mind now directly linked to the targeting systems. "They've never seen anything like us before." As the battle raged, Science Officer Tom made a critical discovery while analyzing intercepted Grey communications. "Captain, I've found something in their historical records," he called out. "The Greys aren't just afraid of our adaptability, they've seen it before. Another species with similar potential eventually evolved into something terrifying, nearly destroying their homeworld before disappearing centuries ago." This revelation gave Jack an idea. Using the communication frequencies Anna had deciphered, he sent a message to the Grey commanders: "Your weapons created us. Withdraw your forces and release all human prisoners, or we'll share this technology with every human colony. Your choice." For a moment, the Grey ships hesitated. Several began to retreat, their commanders clearly considering the ultimatum. Then a new vessel entered the battle, larger than all others and emitting energy signatures that dwarfed anything they'd encountered before. This was no ordinary Grey ship. This was a vessel piloted by their elders, the leadership caste that rarely involved themselves directly in military matters. "Their arrival means they now consider us a threat to their entire species," Tom explained, his voice tense. The elder ship deployed weapons that began to unravel the alien-human hybrid technology of the Horizon. Systems failed catastrophically as the carefully balanced energy patterns were disrupted. "They understand our technology better than we do," Mike reported, his hands working frantically to stabilize critical systems. "They're targeting the integration points between our original systems and their technology." For the first time since their transformation began, the crew faced an enemy that could counter their advantages. Sections of the hull reverted to ordinary metal. Weapons lost their precision. The neural link between crew members and ship flickered and failed. With no choice left, Captain Jack ordered an emergency jump away from the battle. The Horizon vanished into a hastily created wormhole, severely damaged and with multiple crew members injured. As emergency repairs began in an unknown region of space, Jack examined his hands, the glow now unstable, flickering like a dying light. "They tried to unmake what we've become," he told his surviving officers. "But they don't understand what they're really fighting. We're not just using their technology anymore, we're improving it." Adrift in unknown space, the Horizon hung between stars like a wounded animal. Critical systems failed in cascades as the attack by the Grey Elders continued to unravel the alien-human integration that had become their lifeline. In engineering, Mike worked frantically as crew members collapsed around him, their bodies rejecting the alien energy that had sustained them. His own hands flickered between solid flesh and translucent energy. "We're losing them," Dr. Parker reported from medical. "The separation is killing them." Captain Jack, barely maintaining his own form, made his way to the core chamber where the ship's heart pulsed erratically. He placed his hand on the central column, feeling the ship's pain as his own. Then something unexpected happened. Rather than rejecting the alien energy as it destabilized, the bodies of the crew began to adapt once more, finding new configurations that the Greys couldn't disrupt. Mike's eyes widened in realization. "The Grey weapon assumes a passive host," he explained to Jack through their fading neural link. "It's designed to separate their technology from whatever it merged with. But humans aren't passive, we're actively directing the evolution." "They don't understand what they created when they attacked us," Jack replied, his voice resonating strangely. "They gave us the tools, but it's human creativity that's turning those tools into something new." This insight became their salvation. Instead of trying to stabilize the alien technology in its current form, they accelerated its evolution under human guidance. They would become something the Greys couldn't predict or counter, a true hybrid that was neither human nor alien but something entirely new. Not all crew members survived the transition. Those who did emerged fundamentally changed, their bodies now capable of directly manipulating energy fields, their minds linked in a network similar to but distinct from the Grey collective consciousness. The Horizon itself underwent a final transformation. No longer recognizable as a ship in any conventional sense, it became a living entity that responded to the collective will of its crew. Its hull could phase between solid matter and pure energy. Its weapons were limited only by the imagination of those wielding them. Mike, now more energy than matter, approached Captain Jack on what had once been the bridge. "The Grey Fleet has found us again," he said, his voice calm despite the news. "Their elders are leading the charge personally." Jack nodded, feeling the approach of their enemy through his connection to the ship. Around him, his transformed crew prepared for the final confrontation. "We went into space as explorers," Jack told them, his consciousness extending to encompass them all. "We became warriors when we had to. Now we'll become something beyond either, something this galaxy has never seen before." The Horizon, if that name still applied to what they had become, moved to meet its destiny, leaving behind the last traces of what they once were and embracing what they had become. The journey back to human space took moments rather than months. The Horizon, or the entity it had become, could now create stable wormholes at will, crossing vast distances with a mere thought. As they approached the outer human colonies, Captain Jack faced his most difficult decision. How much of their transformation should they reveal? Would they be welcomed as returning heroes, or feared as unrecognizable aliens? "Some of us think we should hide our full capabilities," Liz suggested, her form shifting between solid and energy. "Introduce humanity to this potential gradually." "Others believe in full transparency," Tom countered. "Humanity deserves to choose its own path with all information available." Jack decided on a middle approach. They would demonstrate enough of their capabilities to ensure humanity's safety against the Greys, but would not immediately share the most advanced aspects of their transformation. Their arrival caused the expected sensation. Military vessels approached with weapons ready. Communications channels filled with demands for identification. Jack responded by having the Horizon revert to a form more recognizable as a human ship, though clearly modified by alien technology. In meetings with Earth government representatives, he revealed the existence of the Greys, the threat they had posed, and how the Horizon had defeated them. He provided evidence of the non-aggression pact he had forced from the Elder ship in their final confrontation, a battle so one-sided that the Greys had no choice but to agree to leave human space forever. What he didn't explicitly reveal was how deeply the transformation had affected the crew, that they were now effectively immortal, their consciousness existing as much in energy fields as in physical bodies. Military leaders wanted weapons. Scientists wanted research. Politicians wanted control. Jack allowed them their studies and their plans, knowing that none would succeed entirely. The transformation couldn't be reverse-engineered because it wasn't just technology, it was evolution guided by human creativity and resilience. In the months that followed, the Horizon quietly reached out to individuals across human space, people with the creativity and moral compass to use the transformation wisely. They were offered the chance to join what was becoming a new branch of humanity. In the final moment, Jack stood in a chamber that existed partially in another dimension, surrounded by his original crew and new recruits, their forms shifting between matter and energy as they learned to control their transformation. The Greys thought they were disabling a ship, he told them. Instead, they gave humanity the key to the stars. "We were explorers who became warriors when we had to. Now we'll become guardians, not just of humanity, but of all life that shares our desire for peaceful existence." Outside, Earth continued its normal routines, unaware that a new chapter in human evolution had already begun, all because an alien race had made the mistake of leaving humans with a broken ship and the ingenuity to turn disaster into transcendence.